IT Expo, Los Angeles, California, 2008.
John Arnold here, back for another interview for IP Convergence TV here at the IT Expo in Los Angeles. And it's beautiful outside today, but we're going to stay inside for a bit and talk about convergence. So my guest for this interview segment is David Yedwab. David, nice to have you back.
Hi, John. Good to be with you.
And for those who don't know, David is with Market Strategy and Analytics and has been with us before and has always got good things to say when we come to these events. So let's talk a little bit about some of the basically enterprise-level trends that we're seeing in convergence. We definitely want to get into the Microsoft stuff that's going on here.
Sure.
But I'd like to hear your thoughts on what you're seeing at the show so far.
Well, I think Microsoft's presence at IT Expo this fall is rather interesting. They're showing a real commitment around the response point small business UC solution that they announced about a year ago with a whole series of ecosystem partners, which is historically Microsoft's way of penetrating and addressing a market extremely aggressively.
Yes.
They've solicited what they believe are the best hardware partners to develop the hardware solutions around their software, and also network partners to deliver the networking capability that we all know voice communications, UC communications requires, and even special purpose hardware such as great conferencing capability.
Sure. And like a lot of cases, Microsoft, not in this case a traditional voice player, but I think they're making a pretty strong statement here at the show that they have the pieces in place. And as you say, the ecosystem is being built now. I think the channels are probably the next step in the process for them to get to market. But talk a bit about the market where they're trying to serve. I mean, that SMB space is very, very big, and everyone's going after it for it.
Well, it's very interesting. I would say for close to 30 years now, the small part of the SMB market has been very much underserved. We had the traditional key system that was invented probably close to by Alexander himself. And the technologies for the small business market haven't changed all that much. Yes, we went from analog to digital. We went from 182 to things like Avaya and Nortel small business key systems that transform the market, as long as other vendors like Toshiba. But really, over the past decade or so, that small business market has been underserved.
Sure. And it's really, everything we've been looking at so far has been voice-centric.
Yes.
For convergence technologies, when you're bringing voice and data and even video into the picture, does that resonate still, or yet, I should say, with the low end of the SMB market? Do they think about things in terms of convergence?
I believe they do, but the issue is anybody delivering a solution at the scale, at the price point, and showing the benefits that the technologies can deliver. Really, in the small and medium, the small end of the business marketplace, we've got to really focus on the benefits and the cost trade-offs. The owner of the small business is always thinking about, can I improve my revenue stream or can I reduce my costs?
Sure.
And traditionally, the sales process was, I've got this whiz-bang deal and it does all of these 94,000 different things with very little focus on how it can affect the small business's performance.
Yes. Okay.
And I mean, simple things like how many small businesses are basically live or die by their ability to manage appointments effectively. And how many small businesses have a full-time employee or a large portion of a full-time employee doing nothing but managing the calendar to confirm appointments? Well, using UC technologies and integration of UC capabilities with the calendar, that can be done automatically, cost-effectively, and keep everybody on track and really improve the profitability of the business, be it a doctor's office, a hairdresser, an automobile dealership, a very obvious application, but unless you understand the business and the business processes, you can't sell that solution, and the small business owner isn't going to buy it.
Right.
And that's probably why we haven't had the penetration of the technologies, because people haven't been focusing on the solutions. They've been focusing on trying to sell the technology.
Sure. Okay. And well, we're starting to see the evidence of that today
Yes.
at the show.
Yes.
Okay. Well, David, we've got to move on. So
Great.
thank you very much again
Thank you,
for
John.
coming back.
As always.
Okay. Thanks.
Have a good one.